And Eurovote 2024, the Indiana Election Commission has removed Senate candidate John Rust from the ballot. Just minutes later, that prompted the Indiana Supreme Court to rule that he was ineligible for the ballot in a case that had been pending there. News 8's government reporter Garrett Berquist explains why the fight isn't yet over.
Today's developments deal a double blow to Rust's candidacy. At this point, he says he's pinning his hopes on the United States Supreme Court. Rust faced challenges from 6 different Republicans, all cited a state law that says candidates must have voted in their party's 2 most recent primaries. Longtime state committee member Kyle Babcock says Rust had plenty of chances.
He failed to vote in the 2018 primary, one of the most hotly contested Republican primaries in the history. Mike Braun, Todd Rokita, Luke Messer. If he can't even vote in that primary, that's a problem to me.
Rust was the only Republican other than Jim Banks to get on the ballot for the Republican U.S. Senate primary. He and his team say the 2 primary rule is unconstitutional.
We have a situation where John Rust has tendered over 11,000 petitions and has a lot of support in Indiana. We're going to disenfranchise all of those voters if he can't be on the ballot. And we're going to have a U.S. Senate race with 1 candidate.
That didn't convince the Indiana Election Commission.
I mean, those are just the rules, and the political parties the courts have recognized that they have the constitutional right to control who, to a certain extent, who gets to be affiliated with them in terms of being a nominee for the primary. And that's, I mean, none of these arguments overcome that.
The commission voted unanimously to remove Rust from the ballot. Even as that order came down, the Indiana Supreme Court announced it had overturned a trial judge's order that would have allowed Rust to appear on the ballot. Those 2 actions would leave Banks unopposed if they stand. Rust says he will appeal to the United States Supreme Court.
They're trying to keep me off the ballot because I'm not under their control. They're looking for a stooge. They're looking for someone that Mitch McConnell controls.
Rust wasn't the only candidate struck from the ballot over the 2 primary rule on Tuesday. At least 3 Republican U.S. House candidates, Jonathan Brown, Scott King, and Sid Mahant, were also kicked off the ballot for the same reason. At the State House, I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV. WishTV.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.